been a lot of noise. People are saying the market is crashing. Cape Coral real estate market is the worst in the country. It's not booming. It's not crashing. It's cruising right along right now. Pretty steady. I'm Jessie Wood, your local real estate expert, and I want to give you the actual data, what it means for whether you are buying or selling in Southwest Florida. So let's start with the big picture. Southwest Florida real estate market had a huge run up in 21 and 22, and then it started correcting. Over the last few years, we have had a slow moving correction. And as we sit in mid 2026, a pretty normalized market. I was having a conversation yesterday and a buyer said, it's really a buyer's market down there right now. And I don't want to say it's not a buyer's market because there are great opportunities, but also it's if sellers are coming on price right and best foot forward, they're also that correction has been happening over the last few years. And as we sit here in mid 2026, we're in a normalizing market. It's not a crash. It's not a frenzy, but it's a functioning market. We went from a 1 month of inventory in the 21-22 market to now 7 to 8 months of inventory. So by definition, this is a buyer's market. As we've moved through the first half of 2026, the inventory is ticking downward again. Inventory is declining, which means that the selection pain that buyers have had over the last year is starting to tighten. That's a meaningful shift. In pricing, single-family homes have been much more resilient than condos. Lee County's median pricing is hanging in the high 300 to low 400 range, which is a gentle softening from the 2 numbers, but is still a vast difference from the pre-pandemic numbers. Condos and townhomes have seen a significant correction due largely to rising HOA and condo fees after the major hurricane we had here, and insurance costs and the reserves funding requirements after the Surfside condo tragedy in Miami. If you're in the market for a condo as a buyer, there are genuine deals to be had. But for a seller, pricing is more important than ever to get that thing sold. Mortgage rates have remained above 6% for the majority of the year. This is the leading barrier to entry for buyers right now. Cash buyers are very active here. Cash transactions in Lee County are running well above the norms here, like 38 to 40% of transactions right now are cash buyers. So what that means practically for financing buyers is that you need to be strategic. Builder incentives, seller concessions are all on the table again. Use them. For sellers, the headline is this: the window of pricing high and watching buyers line up anyway is over and done with. The market right now is rewarding homes that are priced right, that show well, and that are positioned strategically for their specific neighborhood. Prices that are priced correctly are moving accordingly. Homes that are priced in the 2022 nostalgia are sitting. I got a call yesterday. This home has been on the market for 425 days. What's wrong with it? I'm like, probably the price. The average days to market in Lee County is higher than the national average. We're seeing about 85 to 90 days on market, Southwest Florida wide, while the national market's at 53 days. If you have a home to sell in your home state, you will likely have time to get that under contract and still find something here and close when you are thinking about selling your home. It's not going to be snap your fingers and it's done. You have to time the market accordingly to what your plans are. One thing that's very important to our Southwest Florida market is that we still have an in-migration happening from out of state, but I'm seeing a lot of in-state moves to Southwest Florida. RSW Airport continues to hit record traffic numbers. The fundamentals of why people want to be in Southwest Florida are here: the weather, the taxes, the lifestyle. When you see those headlines about Cape Coral being the worst market in the country, it's important to bear in mind that on paper, our market may look terrible. It's because we have so much inventory that hit the market that we're still playing catch up to. As the supply and demand works itself out, stuff is still selling every day. Priced correctly, homes are moving here. My advice right now is that buyers must keep in mind that we have more negotiating power than we've had in over 5 years. Rates are a factor and insurance is a factor in affordability, but we are able to get concessions from sellers to help with those things. Rate buy downs to get your monthly mortgage interest rate to an acceptable payment level to be able to afford a little bit higher insurance. So there's a lot of factors that go into home affordability. So it's important that you don't rule yourself out without having a conversation. Schedule a call on my Calendly link below if you want to chat this through, or shoot me a text or an email, whatever is your most comfortable way of communicating. I am here for you to plan out your move into Florida or move out, whatever it is that you may need. If you are a seller, it is time to get serious about pricing and presentation. Your taste is not everyone's taste, so it's important that you can remove some emotions from it and realize that when I ask you to paint some walls, it's just trying to get your goals met. If you've been sitting on the fence waiting for some perfect scenario to occur, like a rate drop, it's important that you realize that waiting for that rate drop in a market where inventory is declining could end up costing you more in the home than that rate drop saves you. Let's talk about your situation. I'm here to answer any questions, no matter where you're at in the process, whether you want to buy next year or 6 months from now. Let's have a chat. See you in the next one.